Hi, chat. Sorry, stream's a little later than it should be. I did get home from work about maybe like an hour ago. It's just like bathroom business took a lot longer than it should have. I just like taking long showers, and sometimes doing a bath soak, just relaxing my muscles after a post muscle stressing shift. I mean, I'm fine nonetheless. I right now just have a little snack. I don't know if I'd call it I don't know if you guys would call it a little snack, but it's a little for me. It's only 18 ounces. And it's literally cereal in a cup. Yeah. Nice, I guess. Camera needs to be activated again. Crud. There she is. Oh, hello? Oh no. Is my camera not plugged in? Shit. Oh my god. Hold on. We got issues. Keep bumping on the mic. Hopefully this does it justice, but... I'm not the only one who got their fight canceled. Well, okay. It's not that I had my fight canceled. It's more the fact that, I didn't even get matched up at all. So, by technicality, it wasn't canceled. Who's Dylan again? Is he that blonde, like, is he that, like, brunette-looking dude with, like, frizzy hair? Who always wears, like, blue gloves? Unless that's Chris, but I don't know. Alright, let's try this camera again. See if it works. Perfect, we're back. I'm a bit flipped. Actually, no. This should be fine, but yeah. I have a chocolate version of Fruit Loops in a cup with milk. Yes, I did pour cereal first, by the way. I'm not crazy. Not that type of person. I have 3 other cereals, and so we'll see where this goes. But, yeah. What happened to my spoon? Be right back, chat. Oh, Dylan is that dude? Okay, I didn't even realize that is his name. Oh no, I forget names easily. Anywho, it's time to lightly eat this cereal. Well, I don't want to spill. By the way, I forgot how long this thing was soaking for, so it might already be soggy cereal. But hey, I'm not gonna complain. It tastes good. It's an okay snack. But yeah, technically I turned my schedule for tomorrow to a new plan. Tomorrow we're gonna do something new. Except after tomorrow's morning stream, by technicality, I'm gonna have to stream a lot earlier than it should be. My hair looks like it has hair gel. Dude, I don't have hair gel on. I just slick it back after, like, when it's still wet. So it's basically even not dry right now. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if even Dylan didn't have a fight, to be honest. I don't blame the dude. Despite me and this one dude, me and Dylan also wanting fights, to be honest. It still holds some structured factor. Wow. I can actually still chew through it instead of it like just casually dissolving. Not bad. That's good cereal. If it doesn't sog in like a minute, it's really good cereal. Oh shoot. Well, there goes BGM. Not BGM, but there goes my background. I was trying to pull up Discord. Hopefully stream BGM still looks fine. Yeah, just be careful if you're gonna go back to the punching bag again. You're gonna need to punch a lot later than you should be punching. Just saying. I'm only saying that way you don't shatter your knuckles again. Just be safe with it once you get back to the punching bag, and once you feel comfortable with it, then you can go like haywire. Otherwise, you're gonna shatter your knuckles again, but nah. I'd just be careful with it. Literally. Oh, I have not entered a VC just to pop up my little character. You know what? Let's do it in there today. That'll work. Now, what the heck? Why couldn't I? Oh. I was wondering, I was like, why can I not hear my background music right now? Better. Let's see. Okay, BGM volume should be fine. Hopefully it's good enough for you guys. Unless it's too loud, let me know. This cereal itself is a definite keeper. That's crazy. This is basically the cocoa version, the chocolate version of Fruit Loops. The structural integrity after being soaked in milk, still after like maybe 3-5 minutes, the structural integrity is still there. Like it lost crunch, but the sog is soaking good. That's crazy. But yeah, tomorrow's stream is gonna be another cooking stream. It's just that I might be streaming a lot earlier in the morning than you'd think. Just because I have a friend who is gonna pick me up at noon, and we're gonna do some light sparring. Yes, I'm gonna get it recorded, but it's light sparring, so I'm not gonna flip my lid. For sure. This is really good. Wow. That. Where am I gonna do sparring at? I mean, at his house. I'm sparring at his place. It's too hot apparently, and he wants to avoid the heat. So I'm just like, oh, okay, why not? Go for it. This is really good milk. Holy crap. I'm about to drink that like it's water. That's insane. Now to do some recipe researching. Because tomorrow, I'm going to bake chicken drumsticks. I found a pack of 9. And they were literally $6. Chat. $6 for 9 drumsticks. And I'm gonna cook them all tomorrow morning. What if I made fried chicken? Dude. Fried chicken takes... Apparently, if I make fried chicken, that's gonna take 5 hours. Sarcastically, 5 hours. So I have to stick strictly to 400 degrees Fahrenheit or drop it to 375 for a longer bake. Yeah, no, I would. How does our area look so clear? How does our area look so clear even when there's Canadian wildfire? Dude, I wish I knew. You're asking the wrong guy, bro. It's not like I'm like your local weatherman. Like what? It's crazy. Also, Chad, I'm sorry. I'm not really intending on talking this quiet, but I do have an Asian father who's already passed out in bed. who has to wake up at like what 4:30 in the morning to leave the next hour after that. So yeah, cereal is good. I'm only gonna have that as my only one snack. I'm not gonna eat any more than that. Had I've had too much for macros today. Not gonna lie, it's a little much. Ugh. Stiff neck though. Ow. Understandable? Yeah, no. If I make fried chicken, I am not gonna survive. I will literally burn the house down if I make fried chicken, so not going to happen. I feel like if anything, I'm just gonna bake the drumsticks. But right now, I'm just doing recipe researching. Like, what to do for, like, spice rubs. I was thinking about adding that soybean, like, that fermented soybean paste. That Korean soybean paste that I keep using. Because I mean, like, why not? It's just a smack of salted depth. It's like, it's a first. Of course, I am gonna add onion and garlic powder and paprika and lemon pepper seasoning. But like, I'm gonna have to pre-measure that stuff. Apparently, with 9 drumsticks, I'm gonna need a lot of this stuff. But yeah, meh. Jeez. It has been a long day, chat. It's been a long day. Sorry, this is. I bet this sounds like ASMR to most of you. I heavily apologize for that. Add some MSG? God, I wish I had MSG. Oh, MSG just makes shit so much better. But I do have leftover like ramen packet seasonings. I could just use that. I mean, I am gonna put everything into a spice grinder, grind it to like a full-on powder, and then like spread that shit over the drumsticks. So yeah, why not? Oh, I'm not sure how much longer I can keep streaming. But yeah. How was y'all's day at least? For a Friday like mine, I mean, I had a regular like morning stream, but I think I kept the rest of that stream pretty like dead silent. Like I didn't say anything. I got too locked in with like having my lunch / breakfast and watching YouTube videos. That's so me though. Also, that hot mocha drink this morning was, I think I'll wake up like super early in the morning, and technically tomorrow's stream's gonna be long as fuck, I think, for what I'm going to basically concern, because since you just asked Cloud if I plan on marinating or just full on put on the dry seasonings. The thing is that with soybean paste, with that fermented soybean paste, the thing is that I have to fully pat all those drumsticks dry and then mix that soybean paste with 2 tablespoons of veggie oil. That way, that veggie oil can act like a sticking surface for the spice mixture I'm gonna make tomorrow morning. But right now, the drumsticks are just casually sitting in the fridge. Chillin'. Excuse me. If deemable enough, if it's even possible, I might turn stream on like 6 a.m. So basically, in 6 hours, then like the cooking stream is gonna start. Cause, well, I mean, well, I might only let it marinate for an hour. I don't want it to sit for too long. So actually, I might start. I don't know. Should I? No, this is gonna be a tough choice. It's either I start stream at 9 a.m. or 9:30. Cause my friend's picking me up at 12 noon. And this bake is going to be at least 35 to 40 minutes. So, if we count this right, an hour marinade. Actually, no. I'm not going to let it marinate for an hour. I'm going to let it marinate for half an hour because that baking time is 40 minutes. At best, 40. Because you have to let the temperature, like the internal temperature, be 175. So currently letting it sit in the fridge right now should be fine. But I'm only gonna marinate it for like half an hour, and that's during stream. I am gonna cover it with plastic wrap. What else? I think it is just those 9 drumsticks only. I don't know what else to make. Besides, like, cold noodles. Maybe. I don't know. I'm so lost. But yeah. Yeah. It is a day, chat. It has been a day. So technically, I mean, I am streaming right now, but like... Oh. Well, also, happy Saturday. It's 12:02. I guess another thing, too, is like... What was I gonna say? Whatever. We'll just follow up with this question. Do I do any kind of warm-ups at the gym since I usually come earlier than you do? For someone who has a lot of time, on Mondays and Wednesdays, yes, I mean, I do my usual warm-ups. Aside shadowboxing warm-ups. Like, I at least do 5 rounds of that, just so I somehow try to stay loose. But like, arm windmills, hip turns from like left to right, literally like 180 hip turns. Like bending forward, touching the ground with your fingers. Splits, or at least attempting 2 splits. And then like side splitting, I guess. Not really like side splitting, but like, you know how like when you're like squatting and you're like extending, like you're like technically stretching one leg and then you like go to the other side after like 30 seconds or something? I don't know. I don't really know how you call those warm-ups or exercises or stretches. I am but a fool. But yeah. Stream tomorrow should maybe start around like 9:30ish. It's a little iffy. But I mean, I only intend to marinate for half an hour because of that bake being at least 35 to 40 minutes. And then I'm eating right after. I'm eating maybe like 2 drumsticks. And then saving the rest for the family. Oh, those are stretches? Okay, fair enough. But yeah. I'm gonna eat like 2 drumsticks. Save some for my brother. If he wants some. Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be a little weird. Either that or I pan fry these, but pan frying drumsticks is gonna sound weird as fuck. So I think I'm only just gonna like make them. Oh, I forgot to tell him. Wonder if he's still awake. By the way, I don't usually... Making sounds easier? Yeah, no, fair enough. By the way, I am using AI to like help with like a recipe or like step-by-step process. And that's just because this is my first time doing it. I don't want to fuck it up. I legit do not want to fuck it up. Not only that, I have to like also like I also wanted to add, like I asked it for like to give me like actual measurements to measure out some like the dry seasonings, plus plus the soybean paste and the veggie oil, because I never use olive oil at home. I mean, there is olive oil at home, but I mean, it's rare that I use it. A lot of the times, just whatever's in the mini sriracha squirt bottle that's empty, and we just pour veggie oil in when it's washed out. So what Google Gemini gave me has 3 different options. We either do a classic garlic and herb, smoky barbecue, or lemon, pepper, and thyme. Except I don't have dried thyme. But technically, I'm going to be adding in a tablespoon. No way it said. Okay, stand by. What the frick? You just use any seasoning and it sounds good in your kitchen, and the amount is based off of feelings. So you just FAFO? Wow. You literally just FAFO the whole thing. That's crazy. Well, I want to do this right, so I don't like to FAFO with seasoning and like spices. So technically, this is gonna be turned more into a wet rub, like a liquid rub, because of the soybean paste and the vegetable oil that's gonna be put on it. So technically, mix 1 tablespoon of that Korean paste with 2 tablespoons of veggie oil. Good lord. That is, I guess. And then stir in the lemon powder, lemon pepper, paprika, onion powder, garlic powder, and dried oregano to create a thick. Oh dang. That paste is gonna be thick. We'll have to skip the extra salt because Korean soybean paste is usually salty in its own form already. So it's not that crazy. I mean, honestly, I'd rather skip the extra salt. But yeah. But at least for cooking steps, it does give me baking instructions. Preheat to 400. Pat the drumstick. What are you thinking of making? Well, I mean, I'm just baking the drumsticks in an oven. I don't know if I'm gonna pair this with any carb at all, but if my dad has extra rice, we're gonna go with that. Like, he just has leftover rice sitting there overnight in the pot, in the rice cooker. Set preheat to 400. Pat chicken completely dry with paper towels. That's gonna be that shouldn't be too bad of an issue. The drumsticks with 2 tablespoons of veggie oil and your favorite seasonings. Technically, I'm gonna have to like merge them together. Place on baking sheet lined with foil or parchment paper. I don't have parchment paper, but I do have foil, so I'm gonna make that work. Leaving space between each piece. How much space? Like an inch? A centimeter? Cook for 35 to 40 minutes until skin is golden brown and the internal temperature reaches 165. Which is gonna be tough for me to tell, because, well, for one, if only there was a way to like figure out with like a toothpick, because the temperature, like the food temperature probe that I have at home, like here, like in my dad's house, the food, like that one specifically, Something's wrong with it. Like, every time I try to like find like the thick center and I stick it in, it barely only goes up to like 120 Fahrenheit. Yes, I've played Smash Bros. Before. Why do you ask? I've played Smash Bros. Brawl and currently Smash Bros. Ultimate. I don't know if I have everyone unlocked though. Pro tip: use a wire rack. Oh, for best results. By the way, this like these drumsticks are, I mean, of course, skin on, bone on. So, yay. Who do I main? You're gonna hate it. You're gonna hate me if you're gonna hate knowing who I main. But yeah, no, it says always insert your meat thermometer into the thickest section of the drumstick without hitting the bone to get an accurate reading. I apparently never find the thickest parts. I never find the thickest section of a drumstick. I can never get it right. And so sometimes when I try doing that with salmon or like pork chops, never goes well. It never ends well. Sometimes it actually hits like 100, like it barely hits 165 for chicken and pork chops. I mean, I'd rather get it that far internally. But I mean, otherwise, it's like sometimes I overcook it. Sometimes it's over, like sometimes a little, just a tiny bit underdone. You know what I mean? I'll still have to like over remember the stream where I had tried to attempt to like bake salmon in foil. That meat thermometer was literally sitting at 120. And that salmon did not look opaque. I mean, it looked cooked through. It was flaking, but there was too much there was too much moisture, so it turned more steamed salmon than baked entirely. This was with skin on too, so it was weird. That was also that stream where my garlic turned green, and I thought something went wrong. Nothing went wrong. It's just the aged, like the garlic basically aged, and like some of its acids made it, like some of the acids that are like in the garlic forced it green. So yeah, sorry. Who's the character I think you would hate that I main? 5 letters, pink, with a K. Done. I'm not gonna say the full name. I'm just gonna give you hints and I'll let you fapo. But Chad, what do you think? 1, 2, or 3 for the spice combo? Apparently... Oh, shoot. Hi, Vinny. Wait, Vinny's here. Hi. Wait, are you trying to do... are we gonna do another Vietnamese, like, lesson? I have a gut feeling. Wait. Megan mains Terry, Rob, and casually plays Villager. Oh my gosh. Wow. I main Kirby. And yet people say Kirby is annoying as fuck. I'm doing alright, Vinny. I just had cereal in the middle of the night on stream. Yep. Oh, you main Captain Falcon, Little Mac, and Kazuya? Well, I'm not surprised. I used to main Little Mac until I was like, nah, Kirby's it. But yeah, no, what's up, Vinny? What you up to? Wait, I got pinged on Discord. What happened? What? Where's the ping at? Sorry, Vinny, give me a sec. Oh, you're just chilling? I don't know how people say Kirby's annoying as heck in Smash Bros, but I mean, they say they are. But also, Vinny, did you want to do another, like, Viet lesson? I don't know how much I can teach you today, but we'll see where it goes for here. In fact, technically, my chat moderator could also help as well. Except I'm technically gonna be the moderator, of managing messages between... I mean, yeah, what did you want to learn about? We might as well turn this into a little Vietnamese lesson. I'm not sure how long you can teach for, though, because I gotta be up in 9 hours. And also, I've been a little tired. Grammar. Oh, crud baskets. Grammar, huh? Vietnamese grammar. Wow. What consists of Vietnamese grammar? Sorry, I've never had to actually think about this. Is this more for okay, Vietnamese grammar relies heavily on word order and context rather than word endings. So it's more following a subject-verb-object pattern, or known as an SVO. Forget and remember are pretty important words. We can start off with that. You just want to know what they are in Vietnamese, or are we forming sentences out of these? But words never change for tense, gender, or plurality. Instead of conjugation, particles are added to show time, and nouns remain unchanged, whether singular or plural. What they are and using example sentences. Okay, I guess that makes sense. So forgetting means to let's say when you forget something, you basically, in Vietnamese we call it, we say it as Gwen or Gwendy, kind of you forget on purpose, or you just forgot, or you lost track, you lost memory of it. That's what forget is in Vietnamese. It's Gwen. Let me just type that real quick. So this equals forget. Wow, okay, I cannot type today. So that's the meaning for forget, or at least that's the Vietnamese word for forgetting. For remembering, let me write this actually in the opposite way. That way I can swap back to the keyboard. So remember means nya, or at least it doesn't mean, but in translation it is pronounced as nya. So you'll say this one with an upper tone for remember. For the term forget in Vietnamese, you're gonna turn this to like a no tone, but you're gonna emphasize the e portion. So so it's like like that kind of thing. But you put that in the term of Gwen, just like it just goes like that. Example sentences. If we pull off the subject verb object kind of area. Oh shoot, of course he's here. Doff, but just hop on stream. I'm doing a tiny lesson right now before I go to bed. Hopefully I get up in time for the next stream. Wait, Vinny, which term? Which one did you forget to say? Which one is it? I mean, oh, like the term this? The sentence above, I forget how to... Oh, the sentence itself saying, I forget how to say this. That makes sense. Okay. Okay. That depends though. Are we using... Are we expressing some sort of like time passing on this? I'm gonna move the mic a little closer to my desk. But yeah, no, Vinny, is this... Yeah, no, I know, I assume you mean it's the sentence, I forget how to say this. Like, that's the sentence you want me to translate for you. But are you adding, like, a sense of time? Like, you previously forgot how to say this. Not really? Okay. And that's a little different from what I was thinking of having to translate for you. Megan, we're basically translating, so the sentence, it's gonna sound almost super contradicting, but the sentence in quotations, it literally says, I forget how to say this. Not saying that I actually forget how to say this. The sentence itself is saying, I forget how to say this. Even my Vietnamese is really bad right now, and yet I'm not really much of a good teacher. But we're working on it. I can still help you. I just need a little bit of extra help myself. I'm missing what you're saying. Hold on then, Megan. Stand by. Don't send it just yet. I'm missing what you're saying. You might want to elaborate a little then. Even I'm a little unsure. In short, true. Yeah, it can be that. But saying that as a general sentence, right? As in, hold on. Nothing in quotes. Hold on. Give me a second. As in, you want me to translate that for you, Vinny? You want me to translate specifically that word for word? Okay, good. Okay, good. Okay, good. Megan is on the right page then. It would have, well, at least the way she wrote it like this. I'm gonna put something in parentheses here, but it's just basically saying, depending on your age, whether you're addressing this to someone younger, older, or someone who's basically almost of the same age as you. I'm gonna do this. Is it in the northern accent? For this part, in regarding of like grammar, as of right now, for what you want translated, this is all three accents together. Like every accent uses this. I'm gonna specify this part a little more, saying this. So that's your translation, by the way. Megan, I'm going to add in a little more to what you added, to what you gave me. I'm gonna add a little more, but I mean, it's more so that way when you're translating a sentence like this in regards of grammar, I'd say you still want context, in a sense. In a small technical sense, you still want context. Because otherwise, in plain short mode, you could just write... Here, hold on. Give me a second. In plain short... No, not... That's annoying. In plain short, you could just write it like the second one I just sent there, edited. The first one is a lot longer formed of a version of what the second one is. The longer one, the first one, is just more specified. Like, it's more detailed, in a sense. As that one makes sense. So basically, the first one is basically saying, like, I don't remember, or I forget how to say this phrase in a way. That, like, that's how I'm going to bluntly translate this from the dirt up, like, from the ground. I haven't seen Momo on here lately. Can I pronounce the longer form? Yeah. Wait, Vinny, you're older than me, right? I have to, I forget age stuff sometimes too. But if you are older than me, okay. So basically, if this is coming from me to you, I would say this as Em không nhớ nói câu này như thế nào. That's the longer line. I'm just adding a little pizzazz on it. It has an entirely different meaning, but it still basically says, or in general meaning like I forget how to say this. Như thế nào is almost like the whole how part, and then say this. Nói câu này. Breaking it down, sometimes one word in English could mean three. If you want to emphasize it out, it could mean 3 words. Especially. Hopefully that helps you. By technicality, the way I've read that sentence out, it basically also means I've forgotten these sentences. Or forgotten how to say these sentences. with like either like it could mean like I forget how to say these sentences with like a certain emotion, with like a sad emotion, an anger, or like in a joyful emotion. I'd say just because I'm a theater kid, that's what I'm leaning towards to a little too much like. But that first one I sent you and I read out to you earlier, that long one, it's almost more like I'm preferring it where I don't know how to say it depending on certain emotions. Again, the more context you give, the better the better the understanding of the of like the situation of the conversation sometimes. Like even right now I'm giving you so much context and that's just details. It is literal just sentence details. Wait. Sorry, Vinny, hold on. Megan, is BGM too loud? I have a gut feeling it's either too loud on my end or like unless it's too quiet. I actually want to look and see, but media 6%. I'm throwing that to 10. A little loud, like just a tiny bit louder. But yeah, okay. Back to class. Kinda. But yeah, no, that's one example sentence. But it depends on like so now that you're okay. Now that you're no, it's fine. No, okay. You're doing just fine actually. You're doing just fine. But now that you're addressing two different subjects as in I'd say subjects as in people, objects meaning actual objects, verb, you get the gist. But for that one, you're actually addressing two subjects here. So where I'm going to type this, because this is coming off of your POV, plus including a time now, you're adding like a time sequence out of that. Well, not really a time sequence, but like you've basically added a lost time concept. It sounds weird for how I'm going to for how I said that, but let me just fully type out what I would have said. Like, if I was to read that physically aloud in full translation, this is what I'm gonna write here. Okay, little pop quiz before I send this. Do you remember what yesterday is? In translation, do you know what yesterday is? To translate it. Good. That's my sentence I write out for you. Technically, you can write forget or forgot. You can take that E or you can take it in the E or the O. In the term forget, you can put an E or an O. Or in this case, the way I typed it, it's more so you use the O, which makes more sense. As in forgot, not forget. In English, it's a lot more like loose flowing. You can use forget or forgot. Like saying, I forget what you said yesterday, or I forgot what you said yesterday. Same shit, same meaning. It's a lot more looser than you think with the English language. With Vietnamese specifically, I said, anh đã quên những gì em nói hôm qua. And that's in your POV saying, you forgot what I had explained, or what I said yesterday. Because you addressed yourself to me, saying you forgot what I had said. And that's how you address the two subjects. With the time frame you said yesterday, meaning đã quên or forgot, well, technically hôm qua, but like forget, đã quên. Except with the additive like hôm qua or like the time thing, because it was a past tense form, this is where you add in đã quên, as in it had already happened. The đã kind of means like the term, here. So that term đã means like it had already passed. It had already happened. The forgetting had already happened. So it turns into a forgot in the English language. It can turn from a forget to a forgot. You learned that like 4 days ago? Nice. I'm assuming from Sakura. Sakura's more OP than I am. Not gonna lie. But no, you get what you get what I mean with it though. Basically I said basically in your POV you say you forgot what I had said yesterday. That's just in straight English. You said you specifically wrote I forget what you said yesterday. In the phrase I'm going to say this of the Vietnamese side is saying I forgot what you said yesterday. Of what you said. Sometimes I put of, sometimes I don't put of. It's a weird thing. But Vietnamese and English, Vietnamese is like a little tighter, like it's a little tighter structured than English would be. Phrasing is a lot more stricter too. Besides English. But yeah, that would be the given demonstration of how I would have translated your sentence there. I'm sure there's like multiple, there's maybe like 2 to 3, there's like maybe 2 more different ways I would have wrote that. I'm not gonna dive into it. For how I gave you that sentence, that is the most northern accent I'm gonna give you. Despite my southern accent wanting to just skip a heartbeat. It's sad. Trust me. But yeah, no, it is pretty nice. I'm so glad you're taking notes, though. This is great. Now, this is not even needing to be a full-on long sentence. I mean, it can be, depending if you actually put down, like, if you personally put down in English, I did remember your name, then that means it's a different, like, it's a little strange. But the way you're giving this now, I can just write it as this. For if you, like, the most simplest translation ever. Except the thing is that the first 2 terms between those 2 sentences, between the English and Vietnamese version, you and I wrote, the first 2 words, the super exact. The last 2 is where it swaps. Then means name. Your name. Okay. This part I'll have to like put in parentheses for. But specifically, I don't know if this was more in addressing it from you to me, but that's how I wrote it. Here, give me a sec. That's where I would like dissect that specific part. The part that I put in parentheses is like the your part. It's hard to tell. Like the part that is your in the sentence of what you wrote, it's too generalized. Meaning like the way you could address it to someone. In this case, you addressing it to me, saying "Anh nhớ tên em," as in I remember your name, as in you, Vinny, as the subject, remember me, like my name, as subject number 2. The remembering is more of the verb. Again, subject, verb, except this time there's no object. I guess the object would be the name, but I mean, it would not make sense. Unless you're speaking it to a woman or to a girl, like a lady, like whether that's a lady, girl, whoever of the feminine side, you can still use am. Am is maybe the most general term you would use to address someone who's younger God, my tongue today. The term am itself can be used to address someone who's younger than you, whether that's a boy or a girl. Did not matter. If you're older than them, you call them as an am. You at least refer to them as am. You don't call them that. But if you're the older one, you acknowledge yourself as an, as in you refer to yourself as an. If you want to like say, like, if you want to be like more formal, kind of polite with it. Now, if you're speaking to an elder like woman who's at least maybe 10, 13, 15 years away from you, you refer to her as date. If she's over 30 years past, you call her go. Yeah. I personally would have said goal, but I mean, for someone who's at least 30 years past older than you, you would have said goal. 50 years past, you refer to them as back. You'll have to review the pronouns later. That's fine. That's okay. But remember, as an for someone as an elder male, J for an elder female. Am could mean younger, male, or female. Simple as that. Yeah. It's pretty simple when you try to like remember certain pronouns, especially that depends. This is why when I interact with new people, I always ask of their age first, and especially if they're Vietnamese. If they're like, I always ask of their age first. If they say 23, I get down straight to the month. If they're older than me by 6 months, I go by I whether that's 6 or more months, I still call them as an or date. Sometimes if you want to go like homie mode about it, here, hold on, here's the thing. If you want to go homie mode about it, you say this. Duh. You say duh. This is like homie between friends type shit. You say duh. Sometimes I think you use the term actually of like Ming / the. This has gone weirdly. But that's how you would have like referred to yourself, like between you and your homies and like friends and stuff. We were like besties, basically. You would have said the or Ming, right? Sometimes the term Ming itself can mean more of like husband and wife side, though. So steer clear of that one for a bit. You can at least use the though. It works very well. I've used the a few times, so it's yeah. Yeah. Ooh. Are we pulling another past tense form for this one or no? Okay, good. I was about to say, whether that's saying yes, whether your answer was yes or no, determines how I'm translating that, like, sentence. Specifically, if it's that way... I missed a letter. I'm sorry. Good. Okay. Basically, that's your sentence for that translation. Chad, if you didn't know what this one was, this one's saying he gave the example of, I remember how tasty this apple was. So my given translation was, anh đã nhớ trái táo này ngon như thế nào. Meaning, by technicality, it's more saying like, I remember how this apple tasted like. Technically. Or at least, well, the way I would have said this was like, I remember how delicious, tasty this apple was. Which still makes sense as to how his sentence gave. I have to, like, the thing is that you see the way, okay, I'm trying to break this part down for you. You take a look at your sentence you wrote versus what I had wrote in translation for you. The anh đã nhớ is the part that's already saying I remember, so that part connects directly to. Now, the object, trái táo này, this tasty apple, and then như thế nào, how was. It's a little strange. So the way you break down of how, it's weird, but like basically some of the words you see it in English get swapped around in Vietnamese depending on what context it is. But basically, when it comes to saying I remember something or I